episode starts off with the new NXT Women's North American Champion, Kehlani Jordan. She says she respects her 5 opponents at Battleground and that she's honored to be the inaugural champion. She's then interrupted by Jada Parker, and she makes fun of Kehlani and says she will be taking that title from her. Michin comes out and attacks Jada, which leads to Jada versus Michin. And Carl stops Jada from hitting Michin with a chair, which causes enough of a distraction for Michin to roll up Jada and get the win. This is most likely not the end between these two, and it seems that the other 2 members of OTM are going to be getting involved. So, I guess I'll wait to see where this goes. After that, we see all the members of Chase U in their classroom arguing, which leads to Thea Hale coming out and saying that they all need to stick together. I still have no idea where this story is going. I'm hoping something happens soon because this just isn't enough. But like I said last week, I'll give it some time. After that, we see Wesley and the New Catch Republic versus Gallus. Both members of New Catch Republic are on the outside dealing with Mark Coffey and Wolfgang, leaving only Wes and Joe in the ring. Wes gets back in, Joe hits him with the lariat and gets the win. But I'm not mad at it. I kinda hope more is done with this feud between Wes and Joe, but I don't think that's gonna happen. The next match was Brinley Reese versus the returning Wendy Choo. I don't know what's going on here. Wendy's on some spooky activity. This was basically a squash match. Wendy puts Brinley in a chokehold and puts her to sleep. I have no clue what to say about Wendy. So, here's Roman Reigns saying the N-word.
You must be sleeping under a rock or something, man.
We then see Roxanne Perez, who's asked what's next for her title reign. Mr. Stone then approaches her and says Ava wants to know what she plans on talking about today. Roxanne says that because she had to find out who her opponent was for Battleground at the same time as everyone else, Ava is now going to have to be the one to find out things at the same time as the NXT universe. Roxanne is just being petty for no reason. I can't even be mad at it. After that, we see the undisputed WWE Champion, Cody Rhodes, who has an important announcement. But before he can get to that, the NXT Champion, Trick Williams, comes out and shows his respects to Cody and says how they both had similar journeys, with them both having a lot of adversity to face, conquering it, and now both being world champions. Anyways, Cody's announcement was that Trick's next challenger to his title will be determined in a 25-man battle royal next week. Now, with that out of the way, Cody's about to leave, but before he can do that, Trick's asks the most important question.
With 4th of July right around the corner, we all want to know, are you coming to the cookout? Yes, I am coming to the cookout.
She want me to stay, but I gotta leave her. Something about her I gotta see first. She tell me the truth and I believe her. It's nothing to do with I gotta.
The next match was Lexis King versus Dante Chen in a Singapore cane match, because Dante's from Singapore. While Lexis is making his entrance, Dante attacks him with the Singapore cane to start the match. Majority of this match is just them hitting each other with canes, which makes sense because that's the theme of the match, but that's besides the point. After an admittedly pretty brutal match, Alexis uses his scepter to get the win over Dante. This match low-key hurt to watch. Dante and Alexis have already had 3 matches together, so I would assume this is the end of their feud. The next match was Tavion Heights versus the returning Eddy Thorpe. A pretty quick match with Eddy getting the win. Not much to say about this one. It makes sense for Eddy to get the win since it is his return. The main event was Javon Evans taking on Shawn Spears. Let's give Shawn the opportunity to hit the C4 and pick up the win. That spot was just brutal. And Lexis King, who are 4 men who were in AEW before coming to WWE. That was really the whole point of the segment. It was just, I just felt the need to bring it up because it was pretty nice, I guess. To end the show, we see Roxanne Perez delivering the quote-unquote state of the women's division. Whatever that means. She calls out Ava and says she needs to thank her for carrying the women's division. She then gets interrupted by JC Jane and Jasmine Nix. JC says that long before Roxy even got to NXT, she was carrying the brand and the division. This leads to Metaphor's Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson coming out and saying that they've been leading the women's division for the past year. And instead of choosing to target Kehlani Jordan and her title, they're now going to focus on Roxanne. This leads to Lola Vice coming out and saying that she is next in line and will become the next NXT Women's Champion. And when Jakara tells her to shut up, she kicks her. And this leads to a brawl between everyone, with the last 2 standing being Lola and Roxy. It's very likely that it's going to be Lola versus Roxanne at some point. And honestly, I wouldn't be mad if Lola won the title. But is she going to? Probably not. This was a fine episode. It felt like a lot happened, but nothing happened at the same time. The matches were fine, and we did get some nice segments. I'm excited to see who's going to win the Battle Royal, and the possibility of Roxanne versus Lola. What else do I say? Roman Reigns, say the thing again.
You must be sleeping under a rock or something. You don't